We are live, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome back to the SidePod. Welcome to emergency episode because what a race, friends. What a race. What a start to the season and what amazing predictions we have made, guys.
I think we nailed them. I think we did such a good job. And incredible, incredible,
F1
incredible
TV,
weekend.
if you want the complete opposite of Will Buxton, you can replace with us, where we say
Yes.
most not obvious things.
And then the race proves why they were not obvious and we should not have
Yes.
made those
Yeah.
choices.
Superb.
Just leave us a message in the chat saying everything is looking good, and then we will go ahead as many people in the comments on our reel said today. Words of wisdom, guys.
Words of wisdom.
So many memes in this race. My
Who
God, where
knew
do
in
we
the
even
first race
begin?
itself, yeah, we would get so much meme worthy stuff, like right from the
I had to
get-go.
make notes, dude.
23 more of these, please.
Yeah.
23 more of these, please.
Guys, I have
God
been
bless
saying,
Fernando
yeah,
Alonso. Yeah.
I have been
To
saying for
be fair.
ages, you just need artificial weather to be introduced, and this sport is
Yeah.
saved.
Sprinklers, bro.
Yes.
Sprinklers. That's it.
Sprinklers.
Just
Through
think
the
like a
money
few
existence
sprinklers.
strategy. Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy, like how after like 3 days of dry testing in Bahrain, 2 days of dry practice and qualifying in Australia. They come to Sunday and it's a wet day, like basically undermining everything that they did for the last, 1 month building up to this Grand Prix. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, global warming or whatever
And the
unseasonal
most
showers these are.
unpredictable wet, not even just wet, but like the most
Yeah,
bizarre.
wet.
I
Yeah.
think probably I think one of the most interesting things for me is that the first race of F1 where I started following a season properly was the 2003 wet Australian Grand Prix only, which I think was the one that I
Mm,
think DC won.
Hmm.
So for
yes.
me, it was a very nice moment where I'm like, oh, I remember seeing the last time there
This.
was rain. I was
Man,
Yeah.
a, I was a
just
youth.
1 minute silence for all the people that DTS has converted to F1 this year who will watch this race. And now this is their first race, and
This
they'll
is their
think, damn,
Oh
expectation.
this is
no.
The
what
bar is
F1
set.
is. This is
Yeah.
what F1 is supposed to be. Strap in, kids.
Just
Yeah.
cut
Strap
to
in.
one complete Hungary snooze fest.
You, and also like, they say that like F1 is the elite of driving, right? So all the best drivers in the world. But I
Yeah.
didn't see one driver not make a mistake, in
Yes.
the
All the
Yes.
whole race. Like
rookies.
not just the rookies, like
I
every
mean, the
single
Alonso the
driver.
rookie. I mean,
Alonso the
Yeah,
rookie.
Alonso the
Yes.
rookie, of course. Yeah, yeah. But even like Max Verstappen made that mistake,
oof.
breaking into
Yep.
that turn 12 or whatever. So it was like, yeah, exactly. If this is the first race you're watching and you think these are the best drivers in the world, you can make one of those, compilation of like F1 fail videos just out of this race,
Right from the
like it was
formation lap.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right for the formation
This
lap.
is
Yeah. By
there's
lap two,
that
we had lost three cars.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the comedy piano music. That's like most of
Yeah,
this race can be.
yeah,
And
Or like
yeah.
like
Benny
yakety
Hill
Ferrari
music.
sax.
Ferrari radio can have
Yeah,
its own.
yakety
Yeah,
sax.
fair.
But what a great start to the season Melbourne has always been, I feel. Like it's such a good
So
race to
good.
start with.
Oh
Like
And
there's
now
yes,
with
so
the track
much.
changes they made, also it's like
yeah.
Yeah.
The
it's even
four
better.
DRSs
Yeah.
also makes it fun.
Four DRS zones,
And the
which
weather.
which despite like hats off to the race stewards as well. Like it
Yeah.
was still wet and they still enabled DRS. They've done this at 1-2 races, but it adds another layer of jeopardy to the whole thing as the
But
cars
the
continue to
like
go
DRS
faster.
in the wet, I was like when
Wet
they
is
switched it, I
just
was like, bro, what are you
ratchet, dude.
doing? This is
Doing,
not
yeah.
this is not allowed.
Yeah.
You can't switch on DRS like this because there's anyway you're dying with no downforce and then you want less
First, yeah.
downforce. But I think for me, one
Yeah.
of the most fascinating things was obviously all these cars spinning out. And
Mm.
I think again that is testament to just how these cars are meant to be driven. Like if you are being careful and tentative and slow, they are just
Yeah.
not meant. Like
Not
in
meant.
all the guys who
Yeah.
spun were just being very cautious and
Low
perhaps
speed. Yeah, even
over
Yeah,
Carlos
yeah.
Sainz.
cautious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just man, but poor Isaac Hajar. Just
Oh
Oh
God, I
oh
man.
felt
man,
so
Oh
that
terrible
is
no.
Oh
for
very
him,
sad.
man.
man.
Also,
Oh.
Papa
And then Lewis
Hamilton was so
Hamilton.
sweet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was
Papa
adorable.
Hamilton
He was,
is
yeah.
like
Full
the
on.
grid Papa, clearly.
Full-
He's
full
like,
grid Papa,
I mean,
he is.
he's the greatest grid Papa. I think he's Papa to all of them.
In a parallel,
Anti-Verstappen particle.
in a parallel universe, yours Verstappen has gone and slapped his helmet. while he's-
He's left him at the track. He's like, you walk to China.
yeah.
Yeah.
You discover a pathway in the ocean and walk.
Yeah, walk to China. Yeah,
Man.
but that was I felt like pretty bad because you could tell that kid was just like broken down and melted.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, man,
despite
it's
like
gotta be
he
hard,
had
right?
like such a great Saturday also, putting it in front of Liam Lawson, in front of all of those guys or whatever, to win it on the formation lap itself was thoda.
That's a
Like you
hard
could
one.
see him sobbing through that
Yeah.
walk, and it was just like heartbreaking to watch.
I mean,
All these rookies had
yeah,
a
at
trial
least
by
he has
fire.
company now where he's like, okay, I wasn't the only one.
The only one, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
in
yeah.
all of this, guys, I have to say the guy who's come the longest way is Lance
Yeah.
Stroll. For all
Lance
the
Stroll.
shit we have given him, the Rainmaster Stroll keeps it together and comes back P6.
Just-
Listen, when we all saw the Aston Martin in the wall, first instinct
Yeah, yeah,
was
100%.
it was
Of course,
Stroll,
of
right?
course,
Like
of
first
course.
instinct was it was Stroll,
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
created by Vince
Yeah.
Gilligan. Plot twist.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh god. But
Yeah,
shit, where
but-
else? So I think so. So we start with the start
I mean,
was
while-
just
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sure. No, go for it. Go for it.
No, so at the start we have Hajar dying, and then we
Yeah.
have the restart, and great start from Max again. Again, the
Oh my
racecraft
God.
to again not be stupid, not go around, but like force Piastri to compromise. And again, that starting confidence that he has with the traction of the line is unbelievable.
Good work.
Then
Yeah.
again, Duhan I think was pretty much the same as Hajar, like more
Yeah.
or less the just
Yeah.
accelerating and.
And did you hear the groan of the crowd when he
Yeah,
did it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
So
there was a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
audible groan, but I am certain that Flavio Briatore sighed even heavier
Oh,
when
yeah.
he saw that. He was like, guys, that's it. Make Jack Doohan.
Somewhere in Argentina, Franco Colapinto laughs.
Colapinto is like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No, but on the point of Verstappen, like, man, I feel like even
So
from
good.
qualifying, we were like, oh, Red Bull is probably the fourth fastest car. And you typically, I mean, we talked about this, like how certain drivers are driving at like the peak of what the car is possible of doing, So you look at the Leclerc, you look at the Norris, you look at somebody like an Alonso, you think like the speed that they're driving, that's the max the car is able to do. But I kind of feel like Max is adding 2/10 on that
105%,
pace just
dude.
by himself. Like literally, that car does not deserve to be there. It
100%.
wasn't meant to be like
Like
qualifying
any car
third
he
and
gets into
finishing.
becomes Tarzan the Wonder Car. So there's a
Yeah.
slightly spiritual
Yeah.
entity that's also controlling it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
absolutely.
just the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
but crazy racecraft, and that last couple of laps where he was coming for Norris, it was
Yeah.
kind of like Jaws music was playing in the
Yeah, yeah.
background. Is like, oh my God, he's like ready to go. Like,
Well,
he
mad credit
was-
to Norris for just keeping his shit cool,
oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Because-
was like, don't make a mistake now.
Yeah, because he has done that before,
Done
and
that
he
he
many
they
times.
almost did it again, right?
Yeah.
With both of them having that, that almost that Sochi
Yes,
moment
so
into
many-
two.
Yeah.
Man, but it was also very
Yeah.
tragic to see just Piastri going off onto the grass and
Oof.
then just stuck there. But then that
And then
almost that
just willing
superhero,
himself.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
He
But
force
even
pushed himself onto the track. Like,
Before
Yeah.
that, the team orders. Okay,
Oh, that was-
like
oh my
that
God.
was just ridiculous. Again, I feel like
That's some
such
papaya
a
rules crap is
mess.
happening again.
Papaya
Such a
rules.
mess up again where
dude, there was
they
a
are
point
like,
during the
no.
safety car where he almost went into the back
Yes,
of Norris.
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I
Yeah,
didn't. It was bizarre that like he's right here and you're like, no, we're not racing. And then like 10 minutes later, when he's 2 seconds off, you're like, oh, now you can race.
Now you race.
yeah, it's so
And I was just
stupid.
like, what?
Because it reeks very
Yeah.
of that you can catch him, don't overtake him. Like very
Take
that.
him,
Like so,
yeah,
now
yeah,
you're 3
yeah.
seconds away, you can like open it up a little bit.
Yeah, now then I was
Man, this
waiting
is going
for
to be the
again
case.
for him to catch up, and they would be like, "Nee, yaar, just wait. Now let's do pit stops. Then you try." So
then you try again.
Yeah, but it
yeah.
was really shit coming from the whole we have two number one drivers and we're going to let them race and see
yeah,
where
and
it goes.
dude,
Then,
faster
like,
driver home race, like, and you're
home
telling
race,
Yeah.
him you
yeah.
can't overtake in front of your home crowd, where no Australian has ever won their home race, and you're saying no, hey, sorry, sit at the back.
Yeah.
It's I don't think he'll be
It's
too
and
happy about that.
it's a situation they're gonna have to deal with till the end of the season because those two guys
Yep.
are so evenly matched,
Yeah.
man.
And the
Like
car is
through the
clearly
course
dialed
of
in right now. So
car is dialed in. Even in quali, there was less than a tenth separating them.
Yeah.
Like every at the end of the race as well, the synchronized moves that they made together, everything was on point. So this is a situation that McLaren is definitely going to have to figure out for fear of like a team implosion, aka
Yeah.
2016 Nico Rosberg, Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton type of situation where they're going into a
Yeah,
championship
for sure.
where they are the
That
favorites.
tight.
Both
Yeah.
are equally placed.
Yeah.
They're very
But
good
this
drivers. So
this I feel is too unfair. It was too early in the season
Yeah.
for this
Race
kind of
one.
I mean, race one, his home race, all of that, and he was way quicker. I mean, it was not
yeah,
even a,
question. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and you could
but I
see
guess
that
we know who
he
the number
made
one driver
mistakes
is
after,
very
and it
clearly.
was probably no
yeah,
matter how.
he was mentally
Yeah, he
like
was like
clearly
pissed
like
off.
pissed off. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could see it.
But on the topic of pissed off, the move he pulled on Lewis on the final lap.
Oh man.
Oh my
Oh
God,
man.
what big balls move that was.
Yeah,
Like to do
full
it
on,
in
full
that
on.
corner on Hamilton in
हाँ,
the wet offline,
Basically,
unreal.
हैमिल्टन ने उसका नॉरिस का खुन्नस खाया उस
Yeah,
एक शॉट
yeah.
में.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah,
किसी पे तो पढ़ने वाला है,
100%.
तेरे पे पढ़ने वाला
One
है.
British person I want to beat up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly.
But that is the kind of cutthroat driving that we rarely you see a Max
Yeah.
do that kind of
Yeah,
thing. You don't
yeah.
see like that kind of like cutthroat
No.
driving
Yeah.
is amazing to watch, honestly, from a Piastri and that kind of thing. It bodes really well for his championship chances that look, he's not going to sit around in the
Yeah.
meager
Also, just for
positions and just be satisfied.
McLaren, like in the constructors, right? Overall,
100%.
right? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
now know you have two drivers like who'll bring it in, and
Yeah, unlike
possibly in the
Red
top
Bull.
four. Unlike
Yeah.
Red Bull,
Oh my
Oh
God.
man, I
What
feel
the shit
bad for
happened there?
Lawson also because I think from what we could tell, he was not also on the same spec of car
No, he
as
was not
this thing. He was on a
apparently. Yeah,
completely
yeah.
different, like old spec car.
Completely different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, but it was very
Yeah, but
embarrassing.
after
From
the
Saturday
drive
also.
to survive build up to
Yeah,
to
exactly.
this.
Yeah,
from all of these, I
Can't
want
believe-
it, I fucking need
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
fire it,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
seat, I've
Yeah.
earned it. And
cut
then
to
this
cannot
little
overtake
hardcore.
Bortoleto. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
little
yeah.
hardcore, little
Yeah.
hardcore. Like,
Totally, yeah. I mean, the best rookie, I think, was obviously Antonelli. Like,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
mean,
dude went
come
from
on.
even despite doing one
Yeah,
full
yeah,
yeah.
turnaround and
Fourth,
everything,
dude.
he went from like 17 to 4th. Superb, and
I mean, based on
clearly
quali, I
showing
think Duhan was showing great
Yeah.
pace, which is, I think
Yeah.
was very like Duhan and Hajar. I think really going to be like to
Yeah.
look out for.
I think
considering-
only Behrman and him finished, right? Antonelli
Yeah, and given
Behrman, right? Or
Behrman's
yeah.
entire weekend,
Yeah.
of, like
Oh my God.
My God.
yeah.
Behrman, the
Like-
fact that he finished the race itself is like, oh wow, he's won
Yeah,
the
I think
race,
he was told,
almost.
"Ki,
Yeah,
boss,
yeah.
you've crashed
Yeah,
the car
yeah,
twice
yeah.
Just-
already. Now you just
finish
enjoy."
the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was this one moment where he's getting out of the pits
Yes,
and
with
then he
Yeah.
just happened to match
Yes.
his way. And you can see the fumes, like despite like the helmets and everything, you could see the fury of Max in that moment. But yeah.
Hey, but also
I mean,
have to
but hats off to
bring
him.
up that they did one cheeky out of order. You may now pass.
Yeah.
safety
Ah,
car
ah.
now.
Sort of Michael Massey vibes.
Yeah, little
happened
Michael
again.
Massey
Yeah.
happened over there.
Vibe,
But they were like,
And there
come,
was
come.
a lot of justification going on that it's after them
yeah,
now,
yeah.
whether will they,
Ah,
won't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yo, we got some super chats, man. Let's
Yes,
check out,
yes.
let me check out a
bunch of them,
few.
yeah.
There is Karan Vyas said Lewis getting that typical Ferrari experience from the get-go. Oh, let's
will
talk
talk about
about
Ferrari.
that. Yes.
We will talk about Ferrari. Should we
Okay.
talk about them now?
No,
Wait,
before that, I would like to
No.
talk about
Yeah.
the world champion of my heart, Nico
Yes.
Hulkenberg.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
All right.
Come
I feel
on.
like the stream cannot pass today without talking about. Let us just one stat put
Driver of
into
the day.
perspective. All right.
Yeah.
They have
yeah.
scored more points today
Yeah.
Then all of last season.
Oh
all
shit.
Yeah,
last
they,
season.
and I
Yeah.
watched the only point they
Yeah.
got
Yes.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Four
Qatar.
last season, 6
Holy
today.
smokes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, superb. In that car, I think he has more points than Ferrari.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
Yes,
both
together.
yes, yes,
Williams
yes.
and
Oh,
stick up
he-
ahead
he-
of
he does.
Ferrari.
It's
At
a
this point
sight
in
to
time.
see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
Like,
smash
this
a
is the
like
crazy.
if you are
strangest
enjoying
table.
the
Like, I
stream,
want to hold it
friends.
up to the camera. This is the strangest
Yeah.
table possible, right?
Yeah,
It's that
yeah.
Red Bull, then Williams, then
Yeah.
Aston Martin, then Kick Sauber, then Ferrari,
Then
then
Ferrari.
Alpine. This is
Crazy.
what this looks like.
Crazy. Crazy.
First race
Yeah, I mean,
tables
a
are
lot
such
of
a
like
delight.
the B drivers shining, like I feel
Yeah.
really bad for Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Through the
Oh,
race, he was like
man.
P5, and then like he got out of the point. Same for Alex Albon, drove a great race,
Yeah.
keeping
Yep.
Hamilton behind him. But Nico Hulkenberg, yes, the quiet assassin, didn't
Dude.
see him once. I don't think the camera was on him even once
No
Nope.
chance.
through the
No
whole
chance.
session.
No chance.
But that is the level of,
But yeah, you say his name thrice and
excellence.
he's there.
Yeah.
He's there. He's
All
there.
the footage Bortoleto took while spinning for the team.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, that's enough Kick Sauber for today.
Yeah.
So what that Bortoleto crash was also weird. Where his suspension broke before he hit the wall only. It's insane.
Wall
I
only.
loved it.
Yeah.
Just-
Then we had a question from Om Prakash Swain who says, question for everyone, did the Mercedes boys get lucky or did Mercedes pull off a good strategy?
Yes.
Lucky or strategy?
Yes.
Yes. Is the correct answer.
George
Yes.
Russell.
But dude,
Lucky,
George
lucky.
Russell,
George
na,
Russell.
he
Classic
just
George
hangs
Russell.
around and
He
gets a
just
podium. No,
was there.
somehow he
Yeah,
just
he
gets
was
it.
there. Somehow he got a podium out of this race. Yeah.
He's
But
just
Kimi
there to pick
Antonelli, I
up the
kind of feel like
pieces.
he earned it. Yeah. So
No, but there was
strategy
a
on
little bit of
Antonelli.
luck.
Yeah,
Little
it
bit of
was
luck.
I mean,
quite a
George
bit of
was
luck,
hanging
yeah.
on to fourth for most of the
Yeah,
race.
fourth.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
And then
Yeah.
obviously getting the
But they didn't
strategy
do
call
the
right.
other, like, I mean, yeah, the strategy bumbles that Ferrari, and we'll come to
Yeah.
Ferrari and everything, but they like played it safe and it worked out for them. Yeah. So, yeah, yes to both lucky and strategy. Yeah.
Speaking of B drivers, Sherry, what are your
Mm.
thoughts on Ferrari's B driver, Lewis Hamilton?
Oh.
Hi.
I knew it was
Hi.
coming. I knew it was coming.
Hi.
But I mean,
Mm.
I feel like, yeah, obviously lots of teething issues, which were kind of expected, I think, which will happen, I think, over the next few races.
He's still getting the
Till
Ferrari
they kind of,
orientation.
yeah, the orientation
Yeah.
and the buttons and the setups and
Oh my God.
the testing, just test it.
And the
Even
random
if you're not
dialogue
close,
from
just
the
test
office.
it. Yeah. So I do feel like obviously those teething issues are going to be there. I mean, the good thing was that he was pretty close to Charles. So I think, I mean, in terms of that is pretty much, it's not like he was that off, like in general.
I
in
felt like
terms
the
of,
first part where he was struggling behind Albon and
yeah,
Tsunoda while Charles was getting away, that felt more frustrating than the
Yeah.
rest of the race.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
But
man, come on. Like,
also
do
because I
it.
think it was wet and he's obviously never driven this car in the wet, very different, all of those.
Yeah.
So I think he was also trying to be cautious because I don't think he wanted to crash out in his first race with Ferrari. I think it was more about like, at least let me finish and make this
Yeah.
like legit, I think.
Plus, come on,
So-
how much terminology to learn in
Yeah,
1
exactly.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
But he
like,
just had to
think-
press K1 and he would not
K1,
solve the
yeah.
problem.
Yes.
Why is he
Yeah.
not pressing K1? I know it's
Pressing
difficult,
K1,
but
yeah.
just
To
press
just
K1.
fly
Just do it.
across.
Yes. Like, I feel like Ferrari has taught us, like, first they were doing all the plans. So there was plan A, B,
Yeah,
C, D.
C, D.
Then,
Now there are
then this
buttons.
year, I didn't realize that there was a class 1 of rain, a class 2 of rain, a class 3 of rain. What was class?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
reminded me.
Class
like,
1 of rain
I'm-
only knows the alphabet. By
Yeah.
class
Yeah.
3, you're
Class
doing like
two.
line
Yeah.
poetry.
Yeah. It reminded me of like, the latest episode of Severance where the dude is like devoured feculence.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, come on, just say it's drizzling. It's
Yeah.
drizzling.
Yeah, say
It's
that.
just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That you have to give
It's
F1
like,
credit
yeah.
for being the sport that overcomplicates things.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
for
it's dribbling,
everything,
guys.
right?
It's
Like
not class
just
one
No,
rain.
but
It's a light
I
drizzle,
feel like Ferrari needs like some kind of a radio, I don't know, workshop or orientation
100%.
to
just
figure
radio.
out just what to
Just
say on the
radio.
radio because
Yeah.
clearly it was not just Lewis, even with Charles, the whole water
Words of
situation.
wisdom, dude.
Words of wisdom,
I mean,
guys.
that
Words
is
of
just
wisdom.
like,
Do you think they have a AI filter that makes Lewis's engineer sound like Bono in his
Like,
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
because
Yeah.
12 years he must be just annoyed by the accent, and just
Yeah.
like,
the
100%.
bluntness with
Yeah.
how the instructions are given at Ferrari.
No, so I think that is going to be the biggest challenge, the relationship building, the trust, all of that.
They
Because
need
I
to do
think,
some ayahuasca trip or something like
yeah,
that. Because, like, if this goes on like this way with this
yeah,
kind of communication, you're going to see you can already see it. Like, the drivers are showing their frustration. There
yeah,
was a
Yeah.
couple of leave me alone moments.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
many.
The famous
Many.
Raikkonen leave me alone type of moment. So that is on race one. If that is happening, gosh, if
Like,
this is the level of
don't tell
communication,
me
then
which of my tires I have to cool down. Like, I know.
yeah,
I am
I know.
driving the car.
Or do you think this is a strategy where they're like, listen, Charles doesn't need this information, but now because we're having to tell Lewis all this,
Tell Lewis.
we
उसको भी
need
बता
to
दे.
also
हाँ.
just say so that
Yeah.
seems like we're telling both drivers, and we don't want to make
Yeah,
Lewis
yeah.
come off as the guy who needs all the instructions.
Of course, yeah.
I
Could
mean,
be.
clearly
wisdom.
the water
The
conversation,
water
I
was
think,
just.
My
is
God.
just
I have
like,
stopped the
I mean,
stream and laughed.
Yeah, same. I stopped. I took photo. I laughed. I like, this must be
it's
preserved
like,
forever.
yeah, it must be the water. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
And
This
just
is like,
imagine being
like
put
Rohan was
yourself
saying,
in
like, what a great pilot episode for F1 newcomers, right? Like, yeah.
Just imagine being Charles Leclerc, all right? You are
Yeah.
going at 300 kilometers per hour at the bleeding edge, like you're basically in Interstellar,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
you have Houston sitting in your
Yeah.
this thing, but
Nahin,
they go, hey,
nahin.
why is my rocket spinning? Maybe it's space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro,
You
what?
think it's Houston, but actually it's DMC.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's
But
Actually, it's
also
DMC.
shows the amount of skills displayed by F1 drivers, where there is the physical fitness, the neck strength, the racecraft, the ability, and
Yeah.
also sarcasm you can bring to
Yes.
the table
yeah,
while doing all of
when,
this.
when it's required.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ability
But,
to
I mean,
multitask is wild.
I'm honestly a little worried about Ferrari. I feel like they need to kind of figure these things out before,
I
because
mean, no,
otherwise,
look,
But-
I think the main thing to figure out is the lack of pace.
Yeah.
Because if we
Yeah.
look back at Saturday, like we were like, oh yeah, Ferrari is going to be the closest competitor to McLaren.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, man,
The
that
fall-off
was
was quite
pretty,
massive.
like,
yeah,
yeah, the fall
fall-off
off was huge, and in the race as well. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for Alonso Crashgate, like they would be like maybe 30 plus seconds behind
Yeah.
the leaders, which is
yeah.
crazy. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like
that's-
No,
they really like we like all the great aura based photography that they did in the first pre-season has not resulted in speed on track. They
No.
need speed on track. No amount of great pre-season photography is going to compensate for that. And I think that is like until they solve that, these frustrations are only going to keep rising
Yeah.
and everything, because everybody is expecting Ferrari to be the contender this year, and
But
that's
last
not happening.
season, certain team qualified 7th and 8th in Melbourne, ended up winning Constructors' Championship.
Mhm.
So there is a way to go.
There's a way. There's a way. Yeah, it's a long season. It's a
We've
long
been
season.
here
yeah,
before.
but I
We've been
Yes,
here
we've been here
before.
before.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is with this season's, as we discussed, so many rookies, so many driver shuffles. Everybody's kind of dealing with new engineers, new teams. Everybody's kind of in
Yeah.
that space where I think it's gonna take us 5-6 races for that to kind of settle down, where everyone's kind of
Which bodes
got-
really well for the next 5-6
Yeah.
races.
Oh,
So it's bound
100%.
to be total
100%.
chaos.
Like,
yeah.
100%.
All teams except McLaren and Aston Martin,
And,
and you can see
Aston
the
Martin,
yeah.
Stroll performance is just it's there.
Oh.
Dude, Stroll podium incoming. I'm saying it right now
China.
for China. Stroll podium coming. Is
Yeah.
China
At
going to
least
be
we
wet
have a
race?
reel
Do
for
we
next
know?
week.
Chinese Group GP
Who
weather.
knows?
Who knows,
But it
man?
is a track where you can
Yeah,
overtake
you
quite
get
a
a fair
bit.
amount
China,
of.
even in the dry, it has that long back
Yeah.
straight, the front straight, like a
Yeah.
lot of
Those first
yeah,
two corners are my favorite in like to
it's a
drive in
long,
the
yeah,
game. Like the first two corners are excellent.
yeah.
What is the weather for China? Oh, rainy
Hmm.
Sunday.
Are you kidding?
No, this was Melbourne. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're a guy.
Sorry, wait, hold on. Shit.
Look, if it looks like water, if it smells like water, if it sounds
It's
like water,
probably
then it
water.
is water, Yeah.
If you are
Yeah.
wet, it must be the water.
Water, yes, that's
No.
very
It
Boston.
says early prediction suggests warm and sunny across all 3 days.
Oh well.
Boo, zero chance of rain. Boo.
Fair enough. I feel like it'll still be like, I mean, we'll see a
I
lot
also
of
feel like
overtaking, but then we'll see the true pace of the
Yeah, we'll
cars.
see the true
exactly.
pace of
We
the
need to see
road.
the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
benchmark pace
Yeah.
now properly in
Yeah,
correct conditions.
yeah.
But I mean, all jokes aside, those Astons actually
Mm.
did seem fairly decent. Like, especially the Alonso, I think the Q1 lap or Q2 lap he put, and he's like, whoa, that was damn fast. Like, where even he was
Yeah, but they still
surprised.
end up like 12th and 13th or something, right? Like, or where did they end up? Yeah,
I think
so
Alonso
somewhere
ended up 11th and
11.
13th.
Yeah.
9th and 13th. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think they also got stuck in traffic or something like that towards the end. But interesting. Williams also, I mean, based on like practice performance, I was slightly disappointed by the drop off in. I think they had. I don't think it was them and Ferrari necessarily dropping off. I think it was just McLaren maybe had like one
Yeah.
extra
That
Yeah.
big
engine
jump
mode
in
or
Q3.
whatever. Yeah, that they
Yeah,
weren't.
yeah.
No, I'm not even Q3. Like from practice to quali, it
Yeah.
just felt like they had like unlocked something in the car.
Yeah.
That last lap in Q3, dude, from Oscar Piastri
yeah,
and
yeah.
Lando Norris,
Like
like
a
it
clear
busted the
3/10,
field
yeah.
by like 4/10 of a second, which was like Max Verstappen level territory,
Yeah.
like in terms
But
of
this is where Red Bull was
advantage.
at the
Yeah.
start of the season last year, no?
Last
Last
year.
year,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
One thing that I noticed this season, which was like really this race, which was also like quite awesome, was that like a lot of the onboard shots now on all the cars are the gyro cam.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, the gyro
Yeah,
cam last
yeah.
year they introduced, and it was like maybe a few cars had them, but
Yeah.
now like a lot of the cars have that gyro cam. And for years we've been complaining about like how the increase in broadcast technology has led to like it feeling like the cars aren't really that fast, because when you see
Yeah.
them in those shots and the camera's tracking them so closely, you're like, oh shit, it's not that fast. But when you go on board in that gyro cam and you see those camber changes and the walls are that close, it was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even with the little like twitches and all, you get like this very visceral feeling of how treacherous it was to drive. Like, I really hope that they do that for all the like onboard cameras, which is like slightly wider field of view, and it's sort of got a little bit of a gyroscope in it that gives you the feeling of the turns. It was bonkers. Like, I was like, almost like you get sucked into that camera. And
Yeah.
when on street circuits where the walls are just going by so fast, it feels
Oof.
like, holy shit, these guys are like legends, to be
Put on a
able to do
VR
that.
headset and get
Yeah.
that feed. Oof.
Totally. I'm sure. Like F1, I know that we were complaining about F1 TV, this thing, but have you guys checked out? Did you guys, any of you guys got the F1 TV Premium?
Oh, there's a
Which
separate.
is so the
Yeah.
F1 TV, there's an F1 TV Pro and then there's a Premium. And the
I got the
Premium
premium.
now,
Now you
allows you
can
to do a
I have.
multi-viewer
yeah,
as well.
multi-view. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get multi-viewer as well. So you can set up like 6 onboards to look at while you're looking at the
Ooh,
race,
nice.
like, and things
Ooh.
as
Yeah.
well.
What I
So it was like and with the onboard camera being the gyro, it makes it even more like,
I have Pro.
visceral. Yeah.
Yeah,
Check it out
upgrade.
if you
That's what
guys
I
haven't.
also
I
did
will
today.
upgrade.
I
Yeah.
upgraded today only. It
Thank
But
you
you
really
can do
makes a
this. You can do this when you cast on TV also.
Ah,
or
that's
Yeah.
that's
on
But
Fire
you
Stick,
can
it is not there, but
but
on
you
your
if you
Acha,
Apple
on your okay,
i-
Apple, yeah, yeah.
okay,
iPad
on a
or
device.
Yeah.
Okay, got
phone or a device, you can do
mobile device. All
multi-viewer.
right.
And also
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can use up to I think 6 devices. So if
Oh,
you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like you can do
Shitload
your
of
TV as your
devices.
main and
Oh,
then
that's
do
cool.
your
Yeah, you guys have to see my setup at home. It's like when Samira sits there, when my wife sits there, it's like race central. I have the TV, I have
yeah.
the iPad, the laptop, the phone,
Of
everything
course,
is like
gotta
got
do
all
it.
this data and everything. It's all meaningless,
Yeah,
But it looks
but it's
cool. It
all,
feels
but it
cool.
yeah.
looks
It feels
cool and you
cool.
feel like, oh yeah,
It
you're
feels
on the,
cool.
yeah, yeah, the, Bandra ka Zach Brown, whatever. Yeah.
Zach Bura.
Right.
uh, but man,
Yeah.
sorry, just coming back to Verstappen because I just remembered dude, that second lap that he drove on the slicks in the rain.
Mhm.
Dude, I cannot even tell you how difficult that is for him
No
to be,
chance.
and not one lockup, not one missed braking point, not one loss of traction. Just, I mean, it's unbelievable how good that guy is in the rain. Yeah, just the
Yeah,
ability to be
dude.
like, whatever, class 3 rain on medium tires, and you're still getting the car stopped and going
Yeah,
around. And even Lando was
yeah,
like, bro, he did 2 laps and he's still come out behind me. Like, what the hell?
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, the car control that that dude has in the wet is
Unreal, dude.
like, there's a handful of drivers that you think are at that level. Like, again, that overtake on Oscar on turn two on the outside, also,
Yeah.
like, that was a classic, max finding grip where there's no grip.
Yeah.
Crazy car control.
Even the Leclerc on
Having said
Hamilton
that, like,
overtake was
look,
good.
even that was great, but like, having said that, we saw a mistake today.
Yeah. But I
Like
think that was more
today
a
we
factor of him being like, I'm pushing the car, and then the
car too
tires
hard
just
and
giving
everything,
up.
but
Cars,
it
Yeah.
was a
yeah, yeah.
mistake. Like
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
visible mistake, and it is sort of like like even the gods can bleed type of situation, like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, like
look,
the counter
there
that
is,
is like one mistake, okay?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
one a
one
year we see
mistake.
Yeah.
from him. Like to the point where it's a talking point.
Yeah, but like, hey, the car performance is definitely not there. He's driving the skin off that vehicle at
Yes.
this point in time.
Yes.
And if Ferrari gets its act together, Mercedes clearly seemed like they had a decent amount of pace. It would be interesting to see how Max deals with fighting in P7 instead of fighting in P3 or P2, and
Yeah.
that's going to be a different
I think
sort
we'll
of
just
ball
see
game
more
to watch.
nice overtakes. I think we're just going to see more crunchy
Yeah.
overtakes.
Well, I
Like,
think
like
what's
throw him
going
back
to,
a
yeah.
little bit.
Probably.
I feel what will happen is that you're going to see Max like he did, keeping up for like the first sort of 15 laps. And then you're going
Yeah,
to see that point where he's
Yeah.
pushed the car so much that the tires
too
die, and then
much.
there's a drop off, which
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But then, I mean, if you consider the fact that Max dropped off 10 seconds or 15 seconds from the McLarens, then Russell dropped off a further 10 seconds off him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like
it's.
for the rest of the team, especially like Mercedes, Ferrari, all of these guys, they're like on outright pace, they shouldn't finish a race 30 seconds behind the
Yeah,
leader.
yeah, no chance.
That kind of is a bit scary, but
China will
let's
be
see,
interesting
maybe.
because there's
Yeah.
very not much scope for your safety cars and stuff in China. Very rare that you see because of
Yeah.
how like wide this thing is. There's not a
Track
lot
is
of
also.
places, and that the gravel traps and all also are so this thing that you're not going to see cars like fully getting totaled.
And also, they should have the week off, I think, after the weekend they
Yeah.
had.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Well, what a great way to start the season, man.
I
Like
know.
that's the thing. Like, I feel like it really showed the kind of skill you need to have to compete at this level and to be successful at this level. The men from the boys, all of those pithy analogies that we made 100 times, this race was like on point. And, credit where it's due, Lando Norris, like, apart from the one off at this thing, he kept it. He mastered the conditions. I was thinking before the race that like Lando is the favorite. We talked about this last episode. He's the betting favorite for the World Championship this season. And if he hadn't put it on pole and if he hadn't won this race, I feel like it would be quite a big mental sort of, challenge to overcome. Fuck the driving skills and everything. And so, like,
Yeah.
just to see him, put it on pole, like, despite, like, in Q3, he screwed up his first lap and then he had to go on the second lap and, like, really set it over there. So, that he beat the pressure over there. And then in the multiple race restarts and everything to just like soak it up and be there, especially those last couple of laps with Max Verstappen sort of breathing down your neck. Yeah, good job by Lando Norris, and bodes really well for his championship bid for this season. Like, I mean, who would bet against him now, given also the performance advantage that the car kind of seems to have, So great.
Yeah, it's sort
But
of
I
going to
mean,
be, they'll have to play it sort of like Red Bull did last season, where just use your dominance at the start and just get all the
yeah,
results so that
yeah,
you can then start focusing on the car later for the next season. And then you have enough leeway when that performance delta reduces that you can
yeah.
still sort of be in the mix. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But also, guys, we have about 600 people watching. So please smash a like, and obviously, if the view count is that much, there's also new people. So welcome to SidePod. If this is your
Yes.
first time.
Hello.
Press
Please,
K1 to enjoy.
yes, please press K1. Also press subscribe. We're very close to 5,000 subscribers. So please smash that subscribe button and hit bell icon to get notifications. There's more super chats. Kaushik Madra says, once Jeremy said on Top Gear, you can make F1 interesting if you put sprinklers at random locations on the track. Do you think he was on to something? Clearly.
100%.
Clearly. I think they should just have, how you have the C1, C2, C3 compounds of tires. I think every track should be equipped with C1, C2, C3 classes of rain
Rain,
sprinklers.
yeah.
And the
Yeah.
the director decides how do you want. It's like a choreographer in WWE.
Yeah.
But not even the director, one random spectator has a button
Oh,
somewhere.
Yeah, one guy, and you never tell you who.
Yeah.
You don't know who, you
Yeah,
don't
they
know
just
when.
find the most
They just
psycho-looking
decide,
person.
just, yeah, come on.
They find the drunkest guy at the track.
In Australia, that should be.
Oh.
That should be hard. Yeah.
Little technicality, how to do in Saudi Arabia. Ben Sulayem will find a way.
He'll find a way.
Yeah. That
Mexico
guy is
can-
Ben Sulayem only.
Yes, that
In
guy's Ben
Saudi Arabia,
Sulayem.
that's Ben Sulayem only is doing it. Yeah.
मेक्सिको का डॉन पापा पेरेज says, कैसे हो बच्चों, मैं एक तुम्हें कीवी शू पॉलिश दे रहा हूँ क्योंकि ये कीवी बस जूता चमकाने के लिए लायक है. हैशटैग चीकू का बदला. Chiku is very cute.
Chico.
But I mean, we are like it already. There's like maybe hundreds of memes that I saw already, which are like, Daniel Ricciardo, Checo Perez, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, all smiling down from heaven as like, this Liam
Join us,
Lawson makes
Liam.
his,
Yes.
join
Yeah.
us, Liam sort of memes and everything. It is like, I mean, dude has a very short leash, yeah. Like in a few races, if it doesn't go anywhere, you can already sense that there'll be like some big moves, because
Yeah.
if Max is in those P1, P2 positions and this dude is like struggling to get out of Q1, Q2, then
Also,
they
Yuki's
need to
been
address
so
that now.
consistent last season as well as
Dude.
starting
Even today,
here.
he was,
I mean,
like,
yeah, that's what I'm
unfortunate.
saying. But I'm saying he's been pretty consistent, like last season, even now. So
100%.
I think that unless he starts putting things
They
the
grow up
right
so
way,
fast.
it's gonna be yeah.
If,
I do feel like whatever happened
You
to
can
the
see-
abuse. So whatever happened to the abusing
Hamilton
rule or
was the
whatever,
only
that
guy I
doesn't
heard
work
giving
anymore.
Gali.
It doesn't.
He gave a
No,
Gali?
they said
Yeah,
apparently
there
it
was
doesn't
one long
apply
beat.
to team radio or whatever. That's what it said. That's
Oh,
what
it's
someone
only
said
press
to me.
conferences, I think. then.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, then
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, also stupid, but whatever, sure. Because I think Max's problem was like just don't broadcast the press conference live. No, if you know that we're going to give Gali, just
Galis,
edit it
Yeah.
out.
Delay it. Yeah.
But also, for me, one of the fun things I found was that whenever the person is being investigated for something, there's a little exclamation mark that comes
Yes.
next
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Yes.
And for me, when I see that next to Sunoda, I think that there should always be an exclamation next to Sunoda because that's how I visualize him talking.
Yeah.
at all
Sonoda.
times. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
all the drivers who
But
get
there were
upset.
literally no penalties, were there? don't think there was a single
No,
penalty,
no,
right?
there
There
was.
was
There
Gabriel
was
Bortoleto might carry forward one to China. He
5
got a
seconds.
5-second penalty
But
for
what happened to
some.
the Antonelli was given 5
It got
seconds
reversed.
and
It
then
It
was
got
reversed.
reversed.
I
It got
don't. They
reversed,
reversed
yeah.
it.
Fresh evidence
Some
came
new
to
facts
light.
came to light or
New
something. Yeah,
facts.
post-truth.
Or Toto.
Yeah.
Or Toto.
The marketing manager of Mercedes.
Yeah.
Saying, did you get my email?
But what was it
Otherwise,
for
I have the
unsafe release?
printouts.
Unsafe release it was, no?
Yeah, well, unsafe
Yeah,
release in
yeah.
the pits.
But he
To
looks
Liam
so
Lawson
cute,
only.
yeah. This Antonelli just looks so adorable at all times. So
yeah.
just like this
Antonelli
guy was
and
like,
Yuki
how I'm
both-
here.
Both of them look like their own Funko Pops. They really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Both of them,
Yeah.
as human beings, look like
Yeah.
what their
Yeah.
own Funko Pops would look like.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
those
man.
like photos that you see on the internet where they make this like mini version
Yeah,
of the thing. Yeah, they look like that. Yeah.
Exactly like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Chotu Antonelli. Tapan says McLaren action movie where hero's friend dies. Red Bull Racing is buddy cop movie, one experienced, one newbie. Williams is underdog story and Ferrari is sitcom. I think sounds about right. Well
Yeah,
summarized.
Yeah.
that's about right.
But man, it's quite sad how and almost worrying how badly Ferrari dropped off.
I think like
Almost.
we were saying earlier, I think like if they solve the pace issue, everything else almost automatically gets taken care of. When you're like fighting for P2, P3, P1 at the start of the race, when you're qualifying like in the first couple of rows of the race, then like all of these issues go away. But then the more they are fighting in like P7, P8, these issues like, and I foresee similar thing to happen in China. Like where if it is dry and they can't bring that big improvements between one race to the next, then we're looking at another sort of, okay, where is this button? Is it K1? Do I have to hold command shift and then press K1, or do I have to, do
Lots
all
of
that?
macaroni
Like, yeah.
guns incoming.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots.
Yeah, I think most of
Yeah.
Lewis's thing is just going to be just changing buttons on the steering wheel. It'll just
Yeah,
be
yeah.
just one horn.
Yeah.
That'll be that's all.
Like either that or it's just going to reach a point where like Lewis is just sitting in a car with a laptop now.
Yeah.
Like there's just a laptop connected to the steering wheel. He's just driving the
Controller.
laptop. WASD
Yeah.
he's pressing.
Oh. Then Chaitanya said, Williams is P4 in constructors. Let's go. Yes. I mean,
Dude, Williams, I'm
Who
telling you,
knew?
outside of
I
Carlos
believe
Sainz's
in
thing,
James Vowles.
100%.
yeah.
James
Yeah.
Wall stands,
I
all of
mean,
I
us.
believe
there's
in James
Vowles.
definitely a huge turnaround in that. I mean, that team is definitely
He
gonna,
also
like,
said after the race though that Carlos actively contributed to
Yeah,
Albon's
yeah.
strategy.
Yes, and you
in
could
the
see it. You could
box.
see him
Yeah,
going
yeah,
pit
yeah.
wall to
Yeah.
garage
And
and back.
because he like
Oh.
Dude, because he's been in
Yeah.
Ferrari, he might have literally
Yeah.
just like looked at him and been like, listen, guys, if we don't do anything stupid,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guarantee you they will do something
Yeah.
stupid.
He's
So
stupid. Yeah.
just hold our
Yeah.
nerve.
He must have been giving him
And
live
prove them
commentary.
behind.
कि,
Yeah.
अरे ये लोग उसको
Yeah.
पकाते रहेगा बोलेगा ये बटन
Like,
दबा वो
हाँ.
बटन दबा जस्ट
Right.
एल्बॉन को बोला आगे देख गाड़ी चला
Like, when
बस
they're listening to the team radio, he's like, आसमा तो like देगा बोलेगा पानी की वजह से, ठीक है? बोले, देख बोला पानी की वजह से.
But it's great to see the pace that car has, man. Like if they can like really like go on this path and not like fall off like sort of Aston Martin did. Like Aston
Yeah.
Martin also had those like places where they were fighting for the
Oh
podiums. And
yeah,
they
I
had this,
totally
Yeah.
forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alonso
Yeah.
era.
Short
when
2
he
years
was
ago.
all,
Alonso's
like,
2-month
happy
honeymoon.
Yeah.
and
His 2-month
Yeah.
honeymoon.
Yeah, when he was like, oh, well,
Yeah.
we're never going to be off the podium.
Last
Yeah.
race
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
podium. Well.
Podium, last race without
Well.
the podium. Yeah.
And he was
but-
so happy about everything.
Yeah. So I'm like, if these guys can keep the pace up, they've got two really good drivers. Like, obviously, Carlos's mistake notwithstanding this thing, but like keeping it in the dry. They were the only team, I think, outside of McLaren and Ferrari that had two cars in the top 10. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in qualifying.
Yep.
They had both cars in the top 10, which was like great. Like I can't remember the last time two Williams
Yeah.
were in
Yeah.
Q3, you know,
But also the
fighting for.
Racing Bulls both were
Yeah.
looking fairly pacey.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Alpines both
yeah.
were looking
Yeah.
fairly pacey. So I
They
think
were,
those
yeah.
that I think it's a very interesting fight for like right now. I think your McLaren is a clear first. I think you
Yeah.
have Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes who are squabbling over who's the second fastest in outright pace. And
Yeah.
then you have the
It's actually a
Alpine,
bit of a party
Williams.
Williams.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except for Haas, I think. At this
Except for
point.
Haas,
Yeah.
sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly, Ayao Kamatsu's episode this year is not
This
Yeah.
going
year
to
is
be
not going to be as fun. Nope.
as interesting as like this one. And you know, Esteban Ocon, every like didn't Ollie Behrman finish this race despite all the shit that he went through? He finished like maybe a second behind Ocon, or was he ahead of Ocon at the end of the race? Like he was like
I mean, it
very
was
close
obviously
by to
safety
Ocon.
car restart.
Cars and
So
everything,
Yeah,
but like
yeah, yeah.
despite all of that, like an Esteban Ocon has historically not got along with a single one of his teammates, you know, like in any
yeah,
of the previous teams that he has been in,
yeah,
whether that was Pierre Gasly, Checo Perez, whoever it has
yeah.
been or whatever. So in case this also sort of the car performance isn't there and Ollie Behrman can provide some bit of competitiveness, even that relationship you can expect some fireworks, which is the only kind of fireworks
Yeah.
we're going to see probably from Haas this year.
I mean, yeah, I get the feeling that Haas has sold him on the thing of listen, this year is going to be shit, and we're focusing on the new
The new
regulations.
Project
car,
26.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing sold to Hulkenberg and Bortoleto also, I think, if because of the
Well,
Audi thing.
Hulkenberg did not
Audi
get the
thing.
memo, sir. Hulkenberg
Yes.
did
Yeah.
not get that memo.
What a legend, man. Like, what a guy. Like, you know, it's
Midfield
so
whisperer,
sad
dude.
that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's so sad that he doesn't have a podium even in Formula One. But every team that he has gone to from the start till now, he's probably driven in more teams than are there on the grid. You
Yes.
know, like he's driven
Yeah.
in so many fucking teams, but he's always there or thereabouts. Like you can always count on him to like be there. Shit, hats off to that dude, man. What a legend. Yeah, living his best life. One misses
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah.
Magnussen at these points, you know,
Correct.
like
But that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, with
Yeah.
F1, we don't realize it, but there's so many of these drivers that have been in the sport for years and have not even won or been on a podium,
Yeah.
like
100%.
after so much, and it's
And
such a
Falkenberg now is like, I think, the third oldest driver
yeah,
after
Yeah.
Lewis
And
and
Alonso.
after Fernando Alonso
yeah,
and Lewis. Like Hulkenberg is like the third oldest because otherwise the field is all bachus.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
you know, it's all these kids, and I think like after that, the oldest guy is like Carlos Sainz, who's like 31 years old or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, like which is also a
And it
bachu one. Yeah, like
also
whatever. Yeah.
happens like when you make one bad decision, you kind of just keep going lower, 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 and then it's like we
Yeah.
saw
Danny
with
Rick.
Ricardo.
Mhm.
Danny,
I
yeah.
mean, even with Science, his manager kept saying it, right? That if we make the wrong decision, he could never win another F1 race. Like that's how
Yeah.
real it is. Like it's
100%.
not,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Carlos with glasses, who's supposed to be a whole different
yeah.
person,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I don't believe, not for a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, also we have two new members. Thank you. Welcome to
Woo!
Navneet Singh
Welcome,
and
welcome.
Rahul Kanitkar. Also, we had Gulshan Singh who said Komatsu was crying as per Karan Chandok when Nico left Haas.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, with
Yeah,
good
probably,
reason,
man.
I suppose.
Yeah. He brings so much experience to the table. I'm sure he'll be great for Audi also next year if he continues in
Yeah.
that seat.
Okay, one more super chat from Sumdi में कोमड़ी Russell saying ये कोई लुइस को बताओ कॉल करना बंद करे. Sumdi में कोमड़ी is the perfect description of Russell. Just somehow
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
there.
yeah.
One side
Comedy mein
dish, one
comedy is
starter.
absolutely accurate. He's like that Hello G meme.
Yeah. Yes. अरे podium फिर से.
Means the amount of random podiums he's gotten is not even funny. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, he just hangs
Yeah.
around. He's just
Yeah,
there.
like as in where he's fourth, fifth, and then just like suddenly like something happens and he's on the podium.
Right place, right time.
Yeah.
Dominic says even legend Lance and Aston Martin finished ahead of Ferrari.
Yes.
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 Yes. Abhijit says it must be.
Maybe like Lance Stroll can probably like rest on this result for at least the
मेरा हो
first
गया.
half of
Oh
the
yeah,
season.
yeah,
Yeah,
done.
Yeah,
yeah,
ho
of
gaya. Like for the
course, of
first
course.
half
Yeah.
of the season, he's
Like
sort of
now don't
sorted.
question him and
Like
daddy
yeah.
and why he's here and all
Yeah.
that. Now it's done.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I
It's like,
think,
yeah.
okay, guys, conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
they started this race with Fernando driving, wearing Stroll's helmet, and Stroll,
Acha.
because it makes
Stroll.
complete sense that,
Sense. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the universe definitely makes more sense if your theory is true.
yeah.
That way. Yeah, for sure.
But
Anyway.
Abhijit also says it must be water with Ferrari cars and water emojis. So that's nice. What was that? First of all, why is the water leaking? And why are you saying it is water? What can you
Yeah, just
possibly gain from just say
Oh,
nothing? It's better than
yeah.
saying it's water. Oh my god. Then
When you do an
Sumri,
MBA, one of the courses that you do in the first semester itself is called business communication. Okay.
Hmm.
And back in the day, it used to be like formal letter writing
Mhm.
from date to sir,
Yeah.
subject, like, all of that kind of thing or whatever. They need to figure this out, dude. This communication issue, whatever it is, like, whether it should be AI generated, whether it should be, some communication guru needs to come and do like I said, ayahuasca trip with all of these guys, whatever, they need to figure this out.
all radio goes through a central secretary who
Yeah.
communicates it
Yeah.
in the correct
Yes.
language.
Yeah.
Language. Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So driver gives gali on radio.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Interpreter,
goes.
yeah,
Yeah, and then just
Yeah,
turns
yeah.
around, the interpreter
translates
turns
from
to this
gali
thing
to
and goes,
Italian
yeah.
and
He's little
Yeah.
upset.
yeah.
He's a little upset, yeah.
He's little upset.
It's drizzling a bit. Yeah.
सुमड़ी में कोमटी रसल अगेन रिटर्न सिंग्स वर्स्ट्रैपन को नॉरिस के पीछे ताड़ फाड़ते देखते इतना मजा आ गया कि मैं किमी को देखा ही नहीं अगले रेस से उसको संभालना पड़ेगा This is the leader Russell. Ashwin says Max podium paglu Ferrari strategy paglu #wisdom paglu. All right, you are also
Wow.
paglu, Ashwin.
Yes. Super chat Paglu.
Yeah, Super Chat Paglu. We have a new member. S is also a member. Thank you so much. And Haka Noodle says, "Hey Arjun, how does it feel to see Mark Marquez back to his dominant form, even toying with the likes of Alex and Pecco?"
Superb. For those who are not following the MotoGP season, this season, Marc Marquez is riding for the Ducati factory team. And he is having a level of he's enjoying a level of dominance that we will probably, if he continues this way, we're probably not going to see something like this ever in our life. So Marc Marquez now in the Ducati is the world champions from the past couple of years.
Yeah.
He was riding in the Gresini racing team, which is like not a factory Ducati, customer Ducati team with a year-old bike last year. And this year he moved up to the main team. In the first, like today is the second race of the season, but 3 competitive sessions have happened. A sprint race in Thailand, a main race in Thailand, and a sprint race in Argentina, which happened yesterday. Main race is yet to happen right now. Every single one of these, he has not only qualified on pole, but won that race. And the other part about it is that his brother, Alex Marquez, driving in his former bike, has finished second in the same, like this thing. So,
Oh,
like, man, yeah. So it's like 2 brothers who finished all the first 3 competitive sessions of the
it's first,
season so
second.
far in first and second. Yeah. And in 2019, Marc Marquez had, when he was riding for Honda, had like this season, which was probably one of the most competitive in motorsports in general, where he went through the whole season either finishing P1 or P2 or DNFing. Like it was P1, P2, or he's out of the race. Like in the whole season, it was just that. And this season, given the level of dominance he's showing on this bike, you would not, sure, this is going to be a long season. A lot of shit can happen. And in MotoGP, they have like, a sprint race every weekend. It's like it could be a record-breaking season. And what a proud dad, what proud parents the Marquez parents must have, like where both their sons are fighting, like literally. And
Yeah.
for most of the races as well, all these 3 sessions, both the brothers have been like nose to tail going together. It's just
Damn.
it's crazy. Yeah, just like
This is the Doom sequel we deserve.
for sure. For sure. Doom Ducati. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
they
very
have the
excited. And
Hardik and
the
Krunal
Argentinian
Pandya
Grand Prix is
Yes.
about to
of
start like in maybe half an hour. So if you guys
oh,
have some have some time,
where
watch
do you
it.
watch it?
I
Do you have to
think
take a subscription
Fan
for
Code.
it? Oh, it's on fan.
Fan Code. It's on Fan Code and on Eurosport on broadcast. So
Okay.
you can check it out on Fan Code. But it's really like it's insane the level of dominance. And again, like both these brothers, like two brothers, like going at it for anybody who has siblings,
Yeah.
and that sort of being with your, just can't even imagine how cool it must be to be like, dominating a sport with your brother, like crazy.
Insane. We had one of our members, new members, S said F1 movie looks so bad.
Why it
What do
looks
you think
bad?
of
I thought
trailer?
it was
I haven't
I
seen.
thought it looked good. Yeah, I thought it
it
looked good.
looked cool only. Like it was looking, I mean, whatever. Look,
See,
guys,
it's not going to
story
be
is going to be
authentic
shit.
simulator,
Yeah, we
whatever.
are not
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
story at all. It's
We're
going
just
to be
looking at the
it's gonna
visual and the
yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
filmed like fucking Top Gun, man. It's gonna look insane. And in the trailer, they've added, Azeem, you would notice this, but like basically, so all the stuff that we've seen so far has all been the F1 footage. But there's also like he seems to be driving some GT cars as well. There's
Okay.
some shots of Daytona going on and
Okay.
everything.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like the racing filming is probably going to be stuff that we've never seen before. The story is going to be shit only, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, like
It's going
just
to be like
watch it
how
for.
that
Like the
Gran
story
Turismo
of Top
movie
Gun
also.
Maverick.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
story of Top
The
Gun Maverick.
story.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
cares? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like even the Gran Turismo movie as a narrative thing was very
listen,
but
Gran Turismo movie, top to bottom, just bin it.
Yeah.
Nobody, that is like a zero rating of anything. That is like class zero rain. Like that was really shit.
yeah, it was
I have very
very
strong
annoying.
feelings about that movie.
Yeah.
No, tell us
It
how you
was
really
totally
feel.
shit. That was total shit though. I was like so excited to watch that movie after
Yeah,
like
no.
playing the game for so many years and everything. But it was such a kakka movie. Like, what is this? Yeah. Like, did nobody like sit up and like when the movie was being made and be like, guys, ye potty hai,
Yeah. This
And
is
it
why we
has,
need
doesn't it
Arjun
have
S. Ravi
Jerry
directing
Halliwell in
these.
it? It has Jerry Halliwell in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
she's the mom. She's the
Yes.
dude's mom in that film. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, what a parallel universe.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that about covers it. Smash a like, friends, and please subscribe if you're new. All right, chal, let's do it. Predictions for China, friends. We did
Bye.
so well today. Let's outdo ourselves.
Again.
No chance.
Oh my God, no. I think
Come on, we have to do
Okay.
it. We need a reel for next week
Okay,
also.
okay. Fair enough.
This is
fair
good.
enough.
This is going to be a
Okay.
thing. We're going to be an Instagram page with 1 million followers. Which, by the way,
Yes.
please follow our
With
Instagram.
bad predictions.
Yeah. It's just going to be 1 million views per reel of people tuning in to be like, what did these idiots say this week? Come on.
Yeah.
Do it. Rohan Joshi, what is your prediction for China?
I have decided I'm just going to say pastry. Because if I keep saying the same name, it has to come correct once.
Once at
So I'm
least.
going to
Asha.
say pastry.
Okay, yeah.
My prediction
Got it.
is
Yeah.
pastry, Norris, Verstappen.
Hmm.
Actually, no, pastry,
Yeah.
Verstappen, Norris. Pastry, Verstappen, Norris. Because if it's pastry, Norris, they'll switch them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with the same prediction. I was originally also going with the same thing. I think like Oscar is looking really, really good. So shit, yeah. Now I've said it, now he's gonna fucking crash out or something. Now. Like, yeah, but Oscar to win, chal. I've said it.
Okay.
Basically now P9 for
Sherry,
Oscar.
Hamilton wins.
Oscar on
Oh.
his revenge drive is winning.
Oh.
Okay. Revenge drive, Hamilton second. Shall I'll give you something
Oh,
that is
wow.
seeming
Wow.
a little wild right now.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's
And third, I'm gonna say, I mean, I don't want to go with Lando and Max because I just don't want to. I mean, I'm done now with them. So I'm gonna say Charles Russell.
Hmm.
Chance
He
play
wasn't
dance, he'll get another.
Azeem saying, Azeem, very convenently, you took your prediction out of the bloody reel, huh? Where you were like, yeah, it's giving Russell vibes and
But
everything.
it gave Russell. He came third. What more you want?
Yeah.
It's still closer than any of y'all. None of y'all
Yeah,
people
to be
were in
fair, it was
top three
closer than
also.
all of
Okay.
us. Yeah. Yeah.
It gave Russell and it gave
Yeah.
Williams.
Give Williams. Acha.
So
What is China giving for you?
China for me
Hmm?
is giving. It's unfortunately giving Norris only.
Hmm.
Norris. Then it's giving Verstappen, and
Hmm.
then this time for sure it's giving Sainz.
Acha,
Okay.
size
Oh.
P3.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you,
Tasty. Very
Sainz
tasty.
incoming.
Very tasty.
So yes.
What if Liam Lawson does well suddenly, guys?
Come on, let's not go so wild also.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but this
I
will
know we
also be
have
a
wild
nice cut in the
predictions.
next reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also just also Stroll will be back in the top 10. I mean Alonso driving as Stroll, wink wink, will be back
in the
in the top
top
10.
10. Yeah.
But it'll be fun race. It's 11:30 a.m. on Sunday next
Yeah,
week.
another
It's
great
going to be
timing
nice.
for us. Yeah,
Beautiful.
super timing for us.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Okay, cool. Smash a like, friends. If you are in Australia, I am coming to Australia in a couple of weeks for Melbourne International Comedy Festival, and also Sydney and Adelaide, and one London in May, and Dubai also. Dubai tickets will be out tomorrow, hopefully. Anything else for anyone to
Yes,
plug?
if you are in Kochi this Friday,
Yes.
the 21st, please do come. I am doing 2 shows. So please come. Tickets are available on Book My Show. Fun will become.
Yes. Sherry, you have anything? Any shoe?
Yeah, you can buy my fancy Mary Janes, or you can come to Korea with me.
Great.
My ask is a little higher than yours.
Tickets not available on Book My Show. Tickets available on Make My Trip. For
Just
Sherry.
try and sell pot on our stream.
Yeah. And Arjun, what do you have anything to plug? Where can people come to office with you?
Please follow the SidePod on Instagram and on
Yes.
YouTube.
Company man through and through.
Yes.
Yeah, great
Very
success.
Okay. Ciao, friends. We'll see you all soon. Take care, enjoy, and remember always press K1 and stay hydrated because if you're drinking it, it is the water. All right. Thank you for watching SidePod. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.